Hours away from football right here on NFL Network. Jets, Giants, Cardinals, Chargers. It all kicks off at 7 a.m. Eastern. We'll have highlights for you tomorrow, and Will's got all the headlines cooking out in Culver City.
Absolutely, and we start in Santa Clara, California, my friends, where the 49ers will open their preseason Saturday night against the Cowboys with their number 2 overall pick watching from the sidelines. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reporting an MRI revealed Nick Bosa suffered an ankle sprain in practice on Wednesday. Bosa also injured his hamstring during the 49ers OTA workouts back in May. Bosa has been impressing teammates with his explosiveness in practice, with GM John Lynch adding that he's exceeded expectations so far in camp. Cornerback Jason Barrett also suffered a minor ankle sprain in Wednesday's practice. Both Bosa and Barrett's ankle injuries are not expected to be serious. The ankle injury bug also visiting the Steelers on Wednesday. Cornerback Joe Hayden carted off after suffering an ankle sprain. Hayden will sit out Pittsburgh's preseason opener against the Buccaneers Friday night. The 10-year corner will have his injury status updated after Friday's game. Now, the Carolina Panthers are featured in the All or Nothing series on Amazon Prime. There's already been some memorable moments, and a most recent one featured our Steve Smith, who consulted quarterback Cam Newton about his fantasy team and whether he needs a Panthers receiver to be on it. And this would be pure gold, my friends.
So I got him on my bench. DJ Moore.
Okay.
Should I? I ain't benching DeAndre Hopkins. Should I let John Brown be on the bench? Or?
That's kind of disrespectful. Like, John Brown, he ain't no asset. He got a lot of choice selections. I'm giving you insider trade, so don't report me,
No, I'm just saying. So should I take him off the bench? Because currently he on the bench.
Yeah. You got to start him.
What if I just flex? What if I put him at flex?
I don't understand that.
That just mean an extra guy. Like,
Yeah.
Put him at flex? Because he's not a real wide receiver yet. Yeah. He's just kind of developing.
I wouldn't say all that now.
No, I'm just talking about for fantasy. Should I start you or John Brown? It's a legit question. Is it not?
It's legit. It's legit. You gonna tell me? Start me.
Start you? You give me 2 points, I'm slapping out you.
This is why I love fantasy football, and here we go. Thanks for the intro, Steve Smith Sr. Fantasy drafts are almost here, so let's get your draft boards ready with an edition of Stretch or Steal.
Right.
Give me a player, any player that you are intrigued by, that you're like, I don't know where he should be going, and we'll size up where he is going at NFL.com, and then we'll figure out if he is a stretch or a steal. Anybody have anybody? They have a question?
Yeah, okay. All right, let's go. Let's do something that people are refusing to do. Let's talk about Matt Ryan.
Let's go!
Right, this is an MVP. He is going as the 8th quarterback take on NFL.com, which makes him around a 7th-round pick. So when you look at a former MVP with a loaded offense, is he a stretch or a steal?
Give me a break. He's going after Russell Wilson, one of the most run-heavy offenses in the National Football League. This is the steal of the NFL fantasy football draft. I cannot believe he's going there. I argued yesterday that he might have the best wide receiver trio in the league. Those 3 guys, Calvin Ridley and Sanu and Julio, combined for the most yards of any trio of wide receivers. And if you look at what he did last year, this was the 2nd best fantasy quarterback in the game. But oh no, let's just put all the past 3 seasons combined, and he is number 1. How in the world is he going at number 8 right now on NFL.com? This is absolutely the biggest steal and the biggest, I don't know, the guy, I like him more than Drew Brees. I like him more than Russell Wilson. I like him more than Baker Mayfield because he's proven over the last 3 years that he's the number 1 guy. Draft him, enjoy.
What an indictment! What an indictment on Dirk Cutter, the new offensive coordinator. Everyone thinks the numbers are going to go down. Come on.
Or that they're going to, I guess, run more. That's not going to hurt his fantasy value. He doesn't turn the ball over either, and he doesn't throw picks. So enjoy.
Last time Julio had double-digit touchdowns, 2012. Dirk Cutter was the OC.
Dirk, you got it.
Bing, bang, boom.
All right, good.
Matt Ryan.
Matt
Ryan's a solid NFL quarterback. He'll someday have a talk of potentially being a Hall of Famer, but Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback to ever do it. And Kay, he's not even in the top 10 right now. He's going 12th at quarterback right now.
People are freaking out about this.
Get into it.
Okay, but tell me, is that maybe too generous in fantasy? Stretch or a steal? 12th overall in the quarterback position when we're talking fantasy.
So before Phillip Rivers, he's going before Ben Roethlisberger. I'm going to say, let's see. I'm going to say he's a huge stretch there. He's going way too high. Are we kidding? And I know that Brady fans are going to freak out about this. Let me tell you this. I did the math. I added it up. There were 8 games last year. 8 games where he had 1 touchdown or 0 touchdowns. 8 games. This is a team that's running first. This is a team that's leaning on their run game and they're leaning on their defense. Last year, fantasy points per game, he finished behind Jameis Winston, behind Kirk Cousins. So why are we thinking that we have to make him a QB1? It's all about production and what he does on the field. He also lost Rob Gronkowski. They also don't have a solution at left tackle. Isaiah Wynn, are you going to be that dude? I don't know. So there's no reason for me to think that his production in 2019 is going to be a lick better than it was in 2018, where he fell outside the top 15 in points per game at quarterback. So I'm absolutely not taking him. I almost might take Kyler Murray as a shoot for the moon option ahead of TB12, because this is fantasy football. Get it?
Yes. I talk about it.
I know he's here
annoyances
too.
in fantasy football is the ignorance of the lemmings who thinks it's disrespectful that Brady's not won in everything. Guys, he's probably the greatest, most accomplished athlete in history. That's fine. It's purely a statistical thing. I don't think he should be 12. He may be win a 7th Super Bowl. It doesn't mean you're going to win your fantasy title.
He had some monster games, but seriously, 8 times last year you had 1 or 0 touchdowns.
Killing you.
No, thank you.
You know why TB12 has no problem with that?
Yeah, he doesn't care at all.
Of course he doesn't care.
No, but you know why?
Fans should care just as much as he does.
You're talking about stretch. You know what his number one thing is? Pliability.
That's it,
all right?
Sean.
This is the TB12 method. Sure, of course. He's all about the stretch.
Number 1 pick in the wordplay fantasy draft is Sean O'Hara. You're my guy.
Quarterbacks are a big part of fantasy football,
Yeah.
but you know what will make or break your team? Your running backs, all right? And I'm not talking about your first running back. I'm talking about you got to have depth, all right? So a lot of question marks about who do I get later on? Who could be a steal? I want to go to the Green Bay Packers. Nobody knows really what this offense is going to look like. All right, but Aaron Jones, there he is at 17 right now, according to our NFL.com rankings. So I want to know from UK, is that a stretch or is that a steal?
Okay, so he didn't get tons of volume, a ton last year, but he did have double-digit touchdowns in 8 games last year. And in those 8 games, he scored 7 touchdowns. So he's basically, when you give him the ball a lot, he's going to get in the end zone. So I'm going to say he's a huge steal. I mean, sorry you guys couldn't see that, but let's take a look.
For it.
When he gets the volume, these are the kind of points that he puts up, and I love seeing that. He was suspended to start the year, and then he had to sort of work his way to the top of the depth chart. This is one of the most unbalanced teams when it comes to throwing the ball and running the ball. I think that changes under Matt LaFleur. Coming in there, they're going to make it a point to use him like they did in those games when they were winning and when he was getting in the end zone. I think this is actually one of the biggest steals in the draft because he's going behind guys like Marlon Mack and Damian Williams, who's injured to start the season. LaFleur is going to bring balance, and he's going to score touchdowns.
Okay, we've had Aaron on the show at Super Bowl, and I think you could speak to this. Kyle, you certainly can. Huge personality. So when you're building your fantasy team, why not have the big personality as well? I like it, Kay. Aaron Jones, I'm in.
One of the biggest deals. Definitely a guy who I'm going to have as my running back.
That's
too.
it. I mean, 8 touchdowns in just 7 games. I mean, that's impressive.
He led the NFL.
When he had double-digit touches. So when they gave him the ball a lot, that was it.
Yeah. So 16
yards. We've always been waiting for the Aaron Rodgers running back to have one that he can ride for years and years. We tried the Eddie Lacy thing. We've tried this guy. This might be the guy. Now, Raiders rookie Josh Jacobs, first running back off the board in the real draft, the reality draft. But Adams, this guy is going 20th at the running back position, NFL.com Fantasy League. Josh Jacobs, the rookie, stretch or steal? What do you think?
I usually am worried about rookies, but never at the running back position when they're drafted highly. This is also a huge steal because I don't see a way where he doesn't end up beating this and where he's going behind Sony Michel, who we love, but that's a headache, right? James White will be part of that. I would take him first because we've seen at least one rookie running back finish top 4 at the position in each of the last 3 seasons. Saquon last year, Kamara, Hunt in 2017, Zeke in 2016. There's an unknown factor, but if you have Trent Brown there and you have Antonio Brown and Tyrell Williams, you can't stack the box against him when he's out there. I like the offensive line here. I just feel like he's been awesome. He was awesome. There's one question I have about how much he can handle. He didn't really do that at Alabama as far as workload's concerned, but he's in the best situation to have a breakout season. I'm pretty confident that he'll be there.
It's such a defined role, right? Like when I draft my running backs, I don't want to split carries. I don't want to worry about someone's coming back from suspension. If you spend that draft pick on a running back, you're going to use the hell out of him. I love that.
Yes, there we go, guys. Thanks for playing.
That's no problem. We got some good steals. We got Matt Ryan some love.
That I know. And
it's about time. Watch out.
People in their place about Tom Brady. Mower. Good Morning Football ahead. We've got to talk Quinnen Williams, superstar in the offseason, but how will he look when he actually hits the field?
Hey,
big baby.
Who smiles when